Yeah, so the personal attention library kind of just gives you a lot of attention while you're at the library. So I can go through books with you, I can just hang out with you. It just kind of provides a sense of community and allows individuals to feel connected while they're here. A library card, of course. Okay. Let me just write down your information first. You know what? Instead of using a marker, why don't we use a colored pencil? Okay. What is your favorite color? Green. Okay. Yeah, let me just find a green. Dark or light green. Okay. For that. Oh, there we go. How about this color? Okay. Perfect. And what is your name? Okay. And I think that's all I need. So let me get started on making your library card, okay? Yeah, we really like having nostalgic things at this library. We find it makes people excited, so the library cards are actually scratch art. So sweet. Solace. Fan. Okay. Here is your library card, okay? This is your name, and you are the lucky library member with the perfect number here. And our signature heart. So, herself. But things are about to change. When she finds herself in the Midnight Library, she has a chance to make things right. The books in the Midnight Library enable Nora to live as if she had done things differently. Each one contains a different life, a possible world in which she made different choices that played out in an infinite number of ways, affecting everyone she knew, as well as many people she never met. With the help of an old friend, she can now undo every decision she regrets as she tries to work out her perfect life. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question: what is the best way to live? The Goodread reviews, yeah. Let me pull those up over here. Okay. Goodreads, the Midnight Library. It has 2 million ratings and 212,000 reviews and 3.99 stars. It won a Goodreads Choice Award. It was the winner for Reader's Favorite Fiction. So, that is the first book. The next book I have is an incredibly famous author. This book is Verity by Colleen Hoover. It has fairly large font, so it is a quick read. And the back says, Lowen Ashley is a struggling writer on the brink of a financial ruin when she accepts the job offer of a lifetime. Jeremy Crawford, husband of best-selling author Verity Crawford, has hired Lowen to complete the remaining books in a successful series his injured wife is unable to finish. Lowen arrives at the Crawford home, ready to sort through years of Verity's notes and outlines, hoping to find enough material to get her started. What Lowen doesn't expect to uncover in the chaotic office is an unfinished autobiography Verity never intended for anyone to read. Page after page of bone-chilling admissions, including Verity's recollection of the night her family was forever altered. Lowen decides to keep the manuscript hidden from Jeremy, knowing its contents could devastate the already grieving father. But as Lowen's feelings for Jeremy begin to intensify, she recognizes all the ways she could benefit if he were to read his wife's words. After all, no matter how devoted Jeremy is to his injured wife, a truth this horrifying would make it impossible for him to continue loving her. And let's check out Verity. books I have read. This one I have not yet, but I have heard nothing but amazing things about it. So, let's get those. sidelines of the NFL to the front lines of the civil rights movement, Duhigg presents a whole new understanding of human nature and its potential. At its core, The Power of Habit contains an exhilarating argument. The key to exercising regularly, losing weight, being more productive, and achieving success is understanding how habits work. As Duhigg shows, by harnessing this new science, we can transform our businesses, our communities, and our lives. So, and then the last book I have not read. Yep, sorry, I keep forgetting about those Goodreads reviews. I just keep getting excited. Oh, yep, The Power of Habit, okay. This one has 534,000 ratings, 23,000 reviews, 4.1 stars, and a nominee for Reader's Favorite Nonfiction in 2012. I forgot to pay attention if the last one had any nominees. Okay. So, 8 was a nominee for Reader's Favorite. The Anxious Generation was a nominee for Reader's Favorite Audiobook in 2024, and 1 for Reader's Favorite Nonfiction in 2024. So, the last one I'm excited to read as well is called Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. Every day we experience the uncertainty, risks, and emotional exposure that define what it means to be vulnerable or to dare greatly. Based on 12 years of pioneering research, Dr. Brené Brown dispels the cultural myth that vulnerability is weakness and argues that it is, in truth, our most accurate measure of courage. In a world where never enough dominates and feeling afraid has become second nature, vulnerability is subversive, uncomfortable, even a little dangerous sometimes. Without question, putting ourselves out there invites a far greater risk of being criticized or feeling hurt. But Brené Brown explains that when we shut ourselves off from vulnerability, we distance ourselves from the experiences that bring purpose and meaning to our lives, and that nothing is as dangerous, uncomfortable, or hurtful as standing on the outside looking in and wondering what it would be like if we had the courage to step into the arena. Daring greatly is a practice and a powerful new vision for letting ourselves be seen. So, let's look this one up. $229,000 ratings, 13,000 reviews, and 4.29 stars. So,